Looking back at the game on tape, was there anything that jumped out to you that you maybe didn't notice on Saturday that seems easily fixable or correctable?
Not really. We played flat. This is of every football activity we've had in a year. This is by far the worst one. A lot of you guys in here come to all our practices. You've seen us practice. You saw the game. There's a huge difference, and we just got to make it so that there's not a difference.
Do you have any idea why they came out?
I think. Well, I think some of the new guys had a slight amount of stage fright, and then I think some of the older guys wanted to make too much happen. They wanted to be really good, really fast. They wanted to go out there and show what they could do. They tried to do too much, and then when that didn't happen, they got frustrated. And also, of course, Portland State deserves a tremendous amount of credit.
Because you do have some new guys in prominent positions that haven't spent as much time in the culture you've established with playing next play, looking straight forward in the next game, is there any emphasis with those guys on making sure that they're not dwelling on the loss?
Yeah, they need to calm down. I think some of it was, they just go out and anxious, try to make too much happen. But we did have a lot of new guys at key positions, all over the thing. And they're good quality new guys, and they're new guys, that we're excited about and we remain excited about. But, their first major college game going out there, they struggled, so.
Did you find Luke's decision or choice making offensively to be a little more conservative than you would expect?
I thought his tempo was slow. I thought I thought that, but I thought his tempo was slow. I thought, just trying to make the perfect play. We need to just get in a good rhythm and go out there and execute. I thought he'd, dwelled on too much, too slow. We just need to go out there and go. You're never going to figure out the perfect play. You just want good value on a play,
Included in any of that, would you like him to throw it a little further downfield, a little more often, anything like that?
Yeah, just in general, we just spent a lot of time trying to sort it out. There's nothing to sort out. Just go run something,
You talked about getting Falk into a rhythm. Is there certain things you can do play calling wise to help him out early in the game to get yourself?
Well, we want our quarterback to have the ability to check. I think we got to curtail some of that. I think that it needs to be more either or than instead of just open the thing up. And the biggest thing is, and there were about 2 series the second half. I thought he did some of that, and we created some adversity for ourselves, but
no. First half, and outside of not scoring the red zone, is that what you want to see from this team, though? The rushing the way you guys did, and then opening up the passing from that? Or?
Well, I thought that it was okay. I thought it was okay. I thought that, there's nothing special about the way we played on offense. You can say we were productive in some ways, but if you have, in the end, we kept the ball for a long time, and we, did this, did that, but we had 43 plays. We got 10 points. Well, that's crazy. And then, we don't need to go out there and, rush, throw either one. We need to have a better tempo when we do it rather than all these guys trying to make everything perfect. We need to relax.
Just reflecting back on a couple of the players' comments, did you get the sense that there were guys that were, for lack of a better word, kind of whining during the game? Or
I didn't have any whining, really. I had guys that were kind of flat, frustrated, trying to make too much happen. I don't recall any whining.
No guys that seemed kind of more concerned with the weather or their playing time or something?
No, I didn't have any of that. It was more, to me, I felt like it was over trying early on, expecting to go out there and score 2 touchdowns each play, and then when that didn't happen, then frustration. I didn't see any whining, and then I saw some guy, if they make a mistake, they play real tight, then over analytical. I didn't see any of the. It was all kind of hyper effort stuff instead of the, flat, dismissive stuff. It was more wanting to make too much happen rather than withdrawing. And as far as there's none of the whiny stuff. If I get any of those whiny guys, I'm just going to cut them, you know. And cut some last year. Should have cut more than I did, or should have cut them sooner. But we don't have any of that, and I haven't seen any of it either.
You guys are pretty familiar with Rutgers based on, you played them last year. Looking at the film of them from last week, do you see pretty much the same sort of look from them?
Yeah, very similar. I mean, last week's game's hard to say. Last week's game's a little hard to say, but yeah, very, very similar. I mean, same look, same stuff, same idea, you know, and they've had success with it, so I'm sure they'll stick with it. It's not, you know, I mean, this stuff's fun to write about, but, you know, people don't, you know, I certainly get the impression that there's people out there in journalist land that think, and I know this for a fact because I was a journalist for 2 years, if you think about it, even though I had to be tutored by experts, Jack Arute and Roger Twyble, but you know, there's a lot of them in your industry that thinks that this is an episode of the Roadrunner, and so, you know, it's all Wile E. Coyote going back there reinventing something to see if it'll drop on the Roadrunner and mash him, you know, and there's maybe a play or two of that, as in 1 or 2 plays each week, but there. Yeah, it's a game execution, you know, and we didn't execute well. You know, guys trying to over-execute, worry about the other guy's job. It's a game execution, so I don't think they're going to reinvent something. They're not going to say, you know, get a bunch of, they're not going to go draw on the drawing board and break out a bunch of boxes that say Acme on it and break out a bunch of equipment and try to build a catapult and all this stuff to ensnare us. They're going to say their stuff's pretty good, and they're going to line up, and they're going to do it the best they can, and hope to execute better than we do, and go from there.
Different quarterback from what you saw last year, and I think he came in the second half and had a pretty good game. What did you see from him? What do you know about him?
You know, pretty good. I don't know a lot about him, you know. It's just a good, solid quarterback, you know. And, you know, kind of like the guy they had last year, I suppose.
Do you see any benefits, like, going on the road right now with these guys and just, like, limiting distractions or anything like that?
Yeah, we got to have the mental discipline to just worry about ourselves and just focus on that. You know, yeah, I'd rather play in Martin Stadium, but, you know, we're going to Rutgers, so that's great. And it'll be really exciting for all our guys to go to that part of the country and be able to show what we can do there. And it's, so, you know, yeah, we're thrilled to, you know, you don't get a lot of cross conference trips like this, and we're excited about this one, and you know, so we're looking forward to a good week of practice and then getting over there and playing.
For the guys that played in this game last year or around last year, how much do you want that game and that result to be on their mind going into this week?
What's that?
For the guys that played in the Rutgers game.
They just need to worry about individual plays, you know. I don't want very much on their mind. They need to just worry about executing like we do Wednesday's practice.
Defensively, on Saturday, especially in the second half, there were a lot of broken tackles. Moving forward to this Rutgers game, with only a few days of practice, how does that turn around so quickly?
Well, we've been tackling well. You know, we've been tackling well up to this point. A lot of it's overrun stuff or guys not executing the call and being in the right gap, and sometimes it's overshooting. Oh, well, I thought he was going to do this. Well, we don't care what you thought he was going to do. We told you you have this gap. It's about as easy as that, but it's, you know, it's anxiousness.
In your mind, how much of the defensive struggles maybe in the second half kind of were a result of the defensive line not getting the pressure you would expect against the opponent?
Well, there was, yeah, it was more, wasn't that as much as just, you know, we'd play with 8 a lot. There'd be somebody in the wrong place. You know, you'd have that gap accounted for, and this guy's supposed to be there, and he's not there. It was more like that. Individually, we'd have guys free, and we would have guys unblocked, and, you know, and we would have really good push, you know, to one side, and then, you know, then somebody's supposed to be in this gap, and it's exposed. It's more like that. It's more of a lack of execution.
Bender was in a tough spot, obviously, at the end of the game Saturday. Just thoughts on him and what makes him well suited to run your offense?
Well, I think, yeah, it's an incredibly tough spot, and his arm wasn't even warm, and so he had to go in. But I think he's going to be a very good player, and we're really excited about him. And you know, any conclusions to be drawn from that? There isn't anything to be drawn. He went in a tough spot, and you know, played 3 plays is about the end of it. You know.
What was the biggest thing you saw from him through the course of camp and just kind of his improvement?
He just throws the ball extremely well, very level-headed, and you know, his knowledge of the offense is growing.
When he went in, you kind of pulled him aside, and I don't know if you were giving him specific instructions or pumping him up, or just what was kind of the tone of that conversation?
Just calming him down, telling him, all right, just, you know, do it like practice. You know, here's, I'm sure I got him the play call, and then told him how I thought he should read it, you know. But, yeah, so he'll be just fine.
You expect Falk to play on Saturday?
Sure, I guess I do.
Sort of in that vein, his first college action to Peyton's did end on an interception, although I think that in the picture it goes right into the guy's hands, as it wasn't a poorly thrown ball. But you kind of calm him down after that?
Yeah, it was a bad read. Let's put it this way. It was a bad read on that by more than just the quarterback, but it was a bad read.
And afterwards, do you kind of comfort him or anything like that?
Now you go play the next play and you make a good read on that one.
As far as the communication issues, were you able to get that sorted out after the game yesterday? Or?
We did have some communication issues, I thought. You know, and they were relatively subtle, but they would surface at bad times. You know, that again, you know, we're trying to do too much. You know, like the ones from quarterback, or we're trying to do too much. You know, we start out with a good play, then try to go to a better play, and then end up going to a mediocre play, and somewhere in the course of 3 plays, somebody's off the script. Well, you know, we just got to be clear-minded and communicate, you know.
So possibly like a receiver running the wrong route, or an offensive lineman hitting the wrong gap. Those kind of things were happening.
Not very often, but some. You know, first games, everybody's got some communication deals. We had more than I expected, though. And part of it, we're trying to do too much.
What does Tavares have to do to turn some of those solid returns into great returns?
He had a great return. Might have scored it, except he got face masked.
Any questions on the line for Coach Leach?
Coach, just talking a little with the Seattle Times. I mean, you stressed a couple times that you guys are trying to do too much. You said maybe, you know, it's time to limit the quarterback to a couple of options instead of what you normally do. Does this mean you might simplify things in offense at all? Just tweak? Can we take that?
We'll run the same offense, but as with regard to his options per play, we'll probably limit those.
And I know the players have said that the energy wasn't the same coming out of the locker room in the second half. How do you get your team to sort of loosen up and not play tight, but also ensure that they're pumped for the whole game? I mean, whose responsibility is that really?
Well, ultimately, really, it's theirs. I mean, if you really want to play, you come out ready to go. But you know, I think we need to just warm them up. I think we need to get their bodies moving as we're coming out at the half, and I do think that's key, and I think that we need to do that.
And does the fact that Rutgers is going to be playing some young defensive backs who haven't seen a lot of time, does that give you guys any sort of an advantage at all?
Not that I know of. We just need to run and execute routine stuff, you know. I mean, you work all the time to execute stuff. That's what we got to do, because somebody's going to be playing there one way or the other.
Any other questions on the line for Coach Leach?
Is there any doubt that Luke Falk will be your starter this weekend?
No.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions in the room?
Yeah, Rutgers, they named their starting quarterback maybe about 2 hours ago, and the guy threw for.
Who'd they name?
Bobby
Oh.
And I believe, was that when he only threw 4 passes, right? And 3 of them were touchdowns?
He came in the second half.
Yeah.
How do you, I guess, kind of scout a guy who only threw 4 passes, you know, and then 3 of them are scores, though? I guess, what are your thoughts when you're facing a guy with those kind of statistics?
Well, they'll have an offensive identity with what they do, and then yeah, which will be quite similar to what they did last year, and then you just work from there. You know, it's not like that guy alone. They're going to change a bunch of stuff. You know.
I got a question, Coach. This is our student question of the week, and they heard about your trip to Europe this summer and wanted to know why you wanted to go back there to coach football over there in Europe and help out.
Oh, would I ever want to?
Or didn't you help out and kind of coach football over there?
I did a clinic in
And why
France.
was that important to you? Yeah, to do that. Why do you want
Just to see football go across the world. I mean, it is. Football's spreading and growing across the world, and they even have youth leagues in a lot of the different countries. It's gone to Russia as well, and there's a big American football, including women's leagues there in France, and I knew those guys. I'd done it before, and then. So it's exciting to see it as it goes around the world, and I've done it in Finland, done it in England, done it in France, and it's huge in Austria. American football is really big in Austria. So,
What's the state of it over there? Is it kind of like soccer? in terms of-
yeah, it is sort of. It is kind of. They'll have under 18 matches over. Like where they break up the field that is eligible for the tournament. They'll do that kind of like soccer, and then depending on the country, it's like you get to use the field when soccer's done, and then but it's growing. It's growing over there, very similar to what soccer's doing here, and. It's a fun, exciting deal. And then in particular, for me, I mean, besides the fact it's fun to see football spread around Europe, it's, you get to go over there and get to see it through the eyes of the French instead of as an English tourist, One time we were over there, and I don't know who knew who or how he did it, but we go to Notre Dame, and there's a big old long line going outside of Notre Dame, and it moves pretty fast because it's a big old cathedral. It's bigger than a football field, and then he goes up and says something French to the guy at the side door. I don't know what the hell he said. I wish I knew so I could use it on lines around here, but he goes up and says something. The guy nods his head, and so we go up this side set of stairs, and pretty soon we're up there, way up there where Quasimodo lives. And we're looking down on tourists walking around because, see, they have a tour where you walk around the cathedral and inside. Then they have the deluxe one where you can go up higher and walk around upstairs. Well, we're above that. We're looking down on all the ones having the deluxe one through the rafters up there by the bells as they're all walking around. And I don't know what the guy said. I said, well, how'd we get up here? Oh, there's a special deal, There's something, however he said, and then, so we're walking around up there, and then kind of went from the top and worked our way down. It was a heck of a deal. I don't know who knew who and how they got it done and what he said, but no, we got to see Notre Dame in a way that not too many people other than those that built the place get to see it. So that was pretty cool. And then just kind of their point of view on stuff, and then how they live, how they eat, all that, and it was good.